Hey there. See, this is if there was a theme song, this is where we play the theme song for a second. What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Today is Wednesday, March 6th, 2019. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. I should do an episode where I don't say anything except for that, and I just drink my coffee. And then you just watch. Except that no one would watch because I'm not that interesting to stare at while I'm drinking coffee. That would be an amazing test, like of how big of a celebrity someone was. How many people would sit and watch them drink a cup of coffee? They would probably have to be a very attractive person. Or a very famous person. Ideally both. Who's an attractive, famous person? Like Brad Pitt. Like I bet a lot of people would watch Brad Pitt drink a cup of coffee. I don't think I would. I think it would just make me want coffee, and I would get up and get a cup of coffee. Huh. These are the things I think about. But that's not what this show is about. This show is about martial arts and my life and coffee. So, yesterday, what was yesterday? Yesterday was interesting. I had a meeting with a potentially, this cat hair, potentially new chiropractor. It was not a good fit. I will not be engaging their services. My chiropractor has retired and sold her practice to my ex-girlfriend. But we're not going to talk about that. That's why I don't have my chiropractor anymore. We'll just leave it at that. But other than that, it was a busy, productive day. Lots going on. Don't forget that you can write in questions. And I've got a question that I'm going to answer. This one came in the other day from Nick Slavin. Hopefully I'm saying that last name right. It comes in from Nick, anyway. And Nick says, what are some good ways to increase agility and not feel so clunky in sparring? Now, he added in your 30s, but the stuff, feeling clunky in your sparring can happen at any age. You can feel weighted down, like you've got cinder blocks for feet at any age. I've felt that at various stages in my life. And to be honest, I feel the lightest that I ever have. So when we talk about feeling clunky, what is that? If we're sparring and we're feeling that way, we're probably feeling slow. And feeling slow is really just a relation to how the other person is. Now, if you're genuinely slow to move, that can be one cause. Or if your reactions to other people are slow, you can be slow. Now, the number one thing that gets people, in my opinion, that keeps people really slow is not knowing how to use their feet. If you watch most martial artists spar, they don't have footwork. The only time they move their feet is to kick. And that's really slow. If I want to travel from A to B, in order to get there, I have to kick. No, that's terribly slow. So my suggestion, the thing that I think the majority of martial artists could benefit from when we talk about this, is to learn to keep your feet narrower. It's not a form. It's not kata. Your feet don't have to be wide and deep, and it's a great way to train. You don't have to be there. Keep your feet under your shoulders and practice moving without kicking. In fact, imagine that you can't kick. Do some shadow boxing. Do some sparring without kicking. Some of the best point fighters I know, some of the fastest, most dynamic point fighters I know, are primarily hands. They use their feet to move. And that's it. Now, one of the other things that you can do is condition. Whether it's cardiovascular conditioning or strength training or plyometrics. These can all help you get faster and move around more dynamically. cover more ground. They're all beneficial. And no one of those elements is ever going to harm you from moving. There's a myth out there that getting stronger and putting on muscle makes you slow, and that's just, it can make you weigh a little more. But no, it's not going to slow you down in that respect. We're not talking, Olympic level bobsled. Actually, they would want you to be heavier. I don't know. I don't know anything about bobsled other than it's scary. What else can you do? The other thing I said, timing. Practicing timing. If you feel slow, you probably feel slow in relation to other people. So maybe you need to take a look at the way you spar. Maybe you aren't good at addressing other people's techniques, aka blocking, dodging, counter. Maybe you initiated at the wrong time and they just get out of the way and punch you in the ribs. I've had all of these things happen to me. When I think about the last few years, as I've been training with a much higher caliber group of fighters, the things that they have that I have been working on involve knowing range, how much distance can someone cover. Their cardio is much better than mine, which means they can relax. And 30 seconds into the fight, I'm exhausted and they just pick me apart. And their footwork. The first thing I said, their footwork's much better than mine. Now there are lots of drills, lots of things that you can work on. I can't really give you any right now. I'm not prepared for that. But the one simple thing I can say is that much of the time when we put on gear, protective gear, we are practicing sparring with people that we are friends with, and quite often they're people that we need to be careful with. And the moment we started sparring in that way, we were told to stay in control, so we slowed everything down. And so if you watch, most people, the moment they put on gear, they're slower than they would be without it. Not because they can't be, but because that's how they've conditioned themselves. So if you practice shadow boxing and things, doing some of your basics with gear on, at high speed, that might also help you too if that's part of the issue. Stuff to think about. Oh. So what's going on today? Bookkeeping, paying bills, coaching CrossFit, because it's Wednesday. What else we got? I'm going to shave, because I haven't shaved for a couple days, and I feel like I should shave. It's a little scruffy. I don't like it. I don't like shaving. It's boring. I don't like having to do certain things over and over and over again. They bother me. I want to do something once, do it awesome, and not have to do it again. Like cutting my fingernails is like the most boring thing. Maybe somebody else can cut my fingernails. Scott's writing in dishes. I don't mind doing dishes because I have a dishwasher. So I just put them in there and press buttons. But I have been known to leave dishes in the dishwasher after they've washed for 3 days. But my morning routine now kind of combats that. So I'll tell you guys. Here's what happens. So I wake up between 5:30 and 6. Today, 6:10. Have a glass of water, big glass of water. Make sure that there's some science around the first thing that you drink and the first thing you eat being impactful for the day. So I drink that first glass of water. It helps make sure that I'm getting at least some water this morning because coffee. I think about what I'm going to do for this show. I do this show. I upload it to our podcast feeds. Do a little bit of editing on the YouTube And then I will go and make breakfast, clean the kitchen, do the dishes, put away the dishes if there are dishes in the dishwasher, and just kind of address any things in that quadrant of the house, the kitchen quadrant. Like there are clothes to wash. Those are up there. So I'll do the laundry. Yay! It's an exciting life. Go Wednesday. So, and then I start real work, usually somewhere between 7:30 and 8:30, depending on how motivated I am. I got a lot to do today, so I'll be at my desk by 8. All right. Well, I feel like today's episode went well. I hope you do too. Don't forget, we do this show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. You can ask me questions. You can ask me a question live on the air, or you can comment below to ask me a question if you're listening to a podcast of this. And it's all over the place. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it. You can write in with your questions. Jeremy at whistlekick.com. Don't forget, we have Martial Arts Radio. That's whistlekickmartialartsradio.com, or on YouTube. And you can check out everything we do at whistlekick.com. All of it. There's so much stuff. It would be a boring conversation because of all the things I would be rattling off. And there's so many things going on in the background. So check that out. Oh, head over to martialjournal.com and help us pick the greatest martial arts movie of all time. We need your help. martialjournal.com. Yes, do it. Do it now. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to show you this again. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Thank you for watching or listening.